One of the most amazing tools that people can learn in regards to self care is the art of meditation. Yet, many of us with ADHD, I've already done a video on ADD, many of us with ADHD don't feel that we can do it. We may have tried 100 times and feel that we failed. But I have good news today in regards to ADHD and meditation. Hi, I'm David Essel. For the past 43 years in the world of personal growth, we have helped thousands, if not millions of people through our lectures, one-on-one work, YouTube videos, oh my God, everything you can imagine, including these videos. Share these videos. Comment below. Feel free to share. There are so many people with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that will sit and try to meditate like the masters, and it doesn't work for us that way. I've had ADHD ever since I was born. I know how difficult it is. As a matter of fact, I gave up 1,000,000 times to try to learn how to meditate because I couldn't do it the way normal people did it at first. And then after I found a method and tried to play around with different ways and look at different traditions of how do they do it. Does everyone sit in a lotus position, for God's sake, for 20 minutes or an hour and meditate? And the answer is no. Good news. There are so many different ways that you can relax the brain with ADHD. Now remember, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. That not only means that the brain is constantly acting, but it also means the body wants to constantly move. So what do? Well, we match it. We don't try to avoid it. We don't try to become one of those master gurus that sits in complete silence and never moves a muscle for 3 or 4 hours. That doesn't work for people like you and me. But there's ways around it. So let's talk about some of the cool ways around it. Number one, chanting. You follow a chanting audio cassette and you are in movement. And chanting can take you just as high if you're doing it correctly and following someone that knows what they're doing as any other form of meditation. When you're chanting, more often than not, we are reciting words that may not be words in English. And that's one of the most powerful things about chanting. One of the most basic words is Om, right? It's been around since the beginning of time. And some people will just silently chant the word Om. Some people will chant it out loud. It doesn't matter to me. But number one is chanting. Number two, walking meditation. All you have to do is be in a super safe environment, maybe a track at a local high school, and you just look and you step 1 foot in front of the other and you keep your eyes towards the ground. There are people that we've trained to do this that actually start doing it with their eyes closed. They'll open it up every few minutes just to make sure they're still on the track at the school, but you can do it that way. Breathe in and out as you walk. Walking meditation can be amazing. Now, in the beginning, you may be walking and thinking 1,000 things. I can't forget celery at the grocery store before. And then you, oh my gosh, I'm thinking. It's okay to think. We're going to think all the time. We just don't want to fight those thoughts. So if you're doing walking meditation and you start to have thoughts, we do the same thing in a seated meditation. All we do is go, thought. And then continue the walking. You will find, especially if you're in a safe environment like a circle, that you can go around and around the circle, and after a period of time, you will be lost in your own meditation. But be patient. These things are abnormal to us with ADHD. We're normally thinking 1,000 different things and moving 1,000 different ways. We are still moving in a walking meditation. We're still moving even in a chanting meditation. But we're doing it with a purpose, and we're doing it with something that matches the challenge that we have. Remember, ADHD is a challenge, but if we try to find ways to work around it, we can get just as deep in meditation as anyone else. There's different things that we can be doing, and I want individuals to know that just because we have this condition doesn't mean that meditation, relaxation is out of the picture. It's not. It's not at all. I want you to have that confidence to know that you can try these different things. There are times every morning when I meditate, I bob my head for an hour and a half. My head will be bobbing like this. Why is that? Well, with ADHD, my body wants to constantly move. But when I get into a bobbing motion and I'm repeating a word to myself to go deeper and deeper into meditation, before you know it, that bobbing movement becomes part of my meditation. It doesn't take you away from it. It actually helps you get focused and centered. When we teach our life coach certification course and we're teaching people how to become coaches, and I say if sitting across from you or on Zoom is someone who's constantly wiggling in their chair or tapping on their desk, that probably means, well, it could mean they're anxious or nervous. If it's the first session, it probably is. But let's say you're working with them for 3, 6, 8 weeks or months or whatever it might be. You might find that that's how we stay focused with ADD and ADHD. By moving, by tapping on the desk, by moving our legs, it actually helps us stay focused. Isn't that interesting? So let's blow this world of ADD and ADHD up. Let's start to focus on meditation techniques that work for us. The last I'm going to talk about that many of you may have heard of is called the Labyrinth Walk. Now, you'll have to Google labyrinth walks in your area, but you will find they're circular in motion. They start on the outside, they come into the center, and then you reverse it and walk from the center out. There are people that will do walking meditations around a labyrinth 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and they get into a zone. And that zone is complete bliss and relaxation. I want that for you. The most important last step I can tell you is give yourself time and patience. Start out with 3 to 4 minutes of either like moving your head while you meditate or walking. Just give yourself a few minutes. Sort of get used to it. Ease yourself into it. And then join the masses that have found through meditation, life becomes easier. Life becomes more joyful. And life becomes more peaceful. I'm David Essel, and this is the good news of the day.